Hey guys, welcome to our channel Coders Arcade. This is Ashank David, and in this video, we are going to talk about Power BI. And in this video, we are going to create a professional dashboard on Power BI. Now, I've already created a dashboard in the previous video. If you haven't watched that video, I'll give the link of that video in the description below so you can go ahead and watch that. Make sure to watch that video because in this video, in today's professional dashboard video, we'll be using the contents from that previous video. So you should know about that. So make sure to watch that video also, guys. Now you can start fresh with this video, but I recommend watching that video first, guys. So watch that. In our previous video, I have shown you how to create a basic visualization, the basic dashboard, and how to use Power BI. In this video, I'm going to actually create a professional dashboard and show you how meaningful insights can be taken out from a Power BI dashboard, guys. I'll be using the same data set and all the resources files will be linked in the description below. So you can go ahead and watch that. Also, guys, you can download that and work with me, guys. And that's all. Let's start without any further ado. Let's get right into the topic, guys. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Coders Arcade. And don't forget to press the bell icon so that you won't miss any future updates. Let's start. So, guys, we are into our Power BI and let's start. So in our previous video, we have created this dashboard, and this dashboard was just created to explain you how to start working with Power BI and how to create your first dashboard in Power BI. Now, speaking of a dashboard, I was working with this particular data. This data was the data for the company which was trying to sell some coffee, some different products of coffee in different countries by some salesperson. So we had salesperson name, in which country they were selling what product, on which date they sold, of what amount, and how many bags were shipped. So this was the data. And we created our dashboard like this. Through this dashboard, I have explained to you how to start building your basic, graphs charts, like bar charts, how to work with cards, and how to display the custom data which you want, how to create slicers, how to work with slices, and how to work with different tables like this. And I told you about the interactions also in Power BI. So if you haven't watched that particular video, I'll give the link of that particular video into the description below so you can go ahead and watch that as well. And in this video, we are actually going to create a new dashboard which will be more professional than this, and we'll be using the same data that we were using here, and we'll be creating a new dashboard with more meaningful insights, and that'll be the professional data dashboard that you will be working with in a proper company. And that dashboard looks like this. I've already created this dashboard, guys, to show you what we are going to actually create by the end of this video. So we'll try to create this kind of dashboard into our video in this particular video today. And I'll be showing you how you can take out the meaningful insight. So as you can see here, that this particular dashboard shows us the data for the salesperson. So if I click onto a particular salesperson, it will show me which product, what is the trend actually for that particular salesperson. So this is the trend chart we have. And I can see that if I select Vikram Tiwari here, that guy has given us a total of 42,000 sales into January, then 18,000, then 71,000, 17,000, then like this. And it keeps on going like this. So this is the trends chart. In which country that particular salesperson has sold, in India and in UK mostly, and which product he has been selling, in which country he has been selling all these products, which different product. And likewise, I can see all the data for different salesperson. This is the dashboard which we'll be creating. So we'll be using the graphs, the different types of graphs here, the tables, and the card visual to actually understand about how the sum and the sum of bags were sold. And we'll be using one slicer for the data as well, and we'll be creating the heading. So this is what we are going to create by the end of this video, guys. So stay tuned for this. Let's start. So I'll be starting by adding a new page right here. So this will be at page 3. And let's start by coloring our canvas, guys. So I'll open up our formats panel right here from the right hand side. And right here, we'll go to our canvas background and I'll select a nice gray color. So it'll be like 20% darker. And you can see that nothing happened here. That's because the transparency is on 100%. So what I'm going to do is I'll reduce down the transparency somehow and we'll get our color which we want. So I've reduced the transparency up to 20%. You can select it up to your choice. So canvas background is done. Now we'll start by creating our trends chart. So this was the trends chart where how much money we were making every month. We were telling about that. We've already imported our data. So data is already imported here because we are using the same data from our previous class. So data is already loaded. So if I open up the data panel, you can see the data is already loaded. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into builds panel, and here I'll start building our first chart by selecting this line chart. This line chart will be selecting. And as soon as I select that line chart is loaded right here. First, I'll start by importing the data into it. So I'll import the data for the date into the x-axis and amount into the y-axis, because that is what we are doing right here in this dashboard. So here you can see that now our chart looks like this. It doesn't look like what I want it to look like, because you can see that the date is in different hierarchies in year, quarter, months, and day. In the last video, I've explained you the use of pitchfork, using how you can go down the hierarchy. So we can go do something like that. If I click onto this button right here, I can go down the hierarchy as I want. And if I click onto this drill up icon, I can go up to the hierarchy. I can go down the hierarchy. I can go up the hierarchy using these two options right here. So here we want this particular visual. So I'm going to select this particular level, and I'm going to, now you can see that it is start looking like it started to look like what I wanted right here. The color doesn't match. So let's recolor it. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to make it a little bit larger here for us to understand it much better. I'm going to select this chart, and I'm going to go on to first, I don't like this x-axis and y-axis titles that are coming right here. So I'm going to go to x-axis, and I'm going to turn off the title for the x-axis. Same thing I'm going to do on the y-axis as well. So I'm going to switch off the title for the y-axis as well. And then I'm going to go to the line, and you can see that the line color is right now blue. I can select the line color. So I can go into the line, and I can go into the color. I can change the color according to what I want. Say I want this color to be darker red like this for the coffee. Okay. And here the color has come. Now I want these markers also to be visible. So I can just close this line. I can go down to the markers, and I can turn on the markers like this. I can see that the markers are now visible onto our every point. I can increase the size of the marker if you want to, and if you want, you can just increase the transparency a little bit, because I have done that into our original data right here. Okay, these are transparent markers. You can see that we have some data also printed there. So what I can do is that here, while I'm selecting this particular graph, I can go to data labels and I can turn on those data labels. Now, if you want to change the type of data that it is showing, you can actually select what you want to see. So for example, you can go to the value and you can select what you actually want. You want some to be seen, or you want bags shipped. According to what you want, you can change that. Let's say I want those markers data to be bold and colored should be like this, a little bit bigger onto the sides. So I can see that much better. Much better. I can see it. So this is how I customized and I formatted this particular graph. Now, one more thing, there is some shading color here as well. So let's turn that on. I can select this chart and I can go on to shaded area. I can turn on this shaded area. Now the color doesn't look nice here. So I'm going to go into shading area and turn off the match line color and select the color of my own. You can see that this color is much better. Like this, I am able to, do the formatting for this particular graph. You can see that the title is also not good. So title here is shown how much money we make every month. So I can go into, by selecting the graph, I can go into the title and I can change the title right here. I can say here how much money we make. And I can make it as bold a little bit. I can select the color. I can select the background color as well if I want. You can see that it is not looking that good, that nice. It is not looking that much nice. So what I can do is I can increase the size of that font like this, much better. I can center align this. So guys, like this, I'm able to, customize or format this particular graph, right? Now this graph is made. I'll just put it onto the side where I wanted it to be. And there you go. Next up, we want to create one more graph right down here. As you can see, that will be a donut chart, which will be showing us all the data for the country and the amount which we are selling, how much amount we are creating. So what I can do is I can select the canvas and I can select this particular donut chart right here. And when I click onto this, a donut chart is loaded right here. I can drop the amount. First I'll select it. I can select the amount and the country like this. If I just click onto it, automatically it loaded it rather than, drag and dropping it anywhere. Now it looks like this. If I zoom in a little bit here, it looks like this. Let's say I don't want this legend right here to be, seen right here separately, and I want these legends to be coming as the headings of these data values. So what I can do is I can select that particular graph, and I can go on to detailed labels, and I can go into the option and I can change the label contents to the all data labels. What happens is that the data labels, all the data is shown right here itself. Okay. Now I want it to make a little bit bigger, so I can go down to the values and I can increase the size of those. Okay. Can make this a little bit bolder if I want to, and there you go, like this. I can switch off the legends, and this is how our graph looks like right now. I can go to the title and I can set whatever title I want with whatever heading I want, and the background color I can select like this. I've not set the background color right here, but you can also select the background color. Let's say rather than putting up the background color right here, I want to select the color of the heading or the title itself. So I can select that particular color and I can make it a little bit bigger and center align. So there you go. As you can see right here. So this is how we build our donut chart as well. So there you go. It's looking somewhat like this, correct? So our donut chart is also ready. Let's decrease the title size a little bit, and there you go. Now on the right hand side, we want this particular table, and this table has to be on the salesperson and the sum amount. So what I can do is I can just click onto the empty canvas right here, and I can start adding the data in the data columns, and it'll create a table like that. So I'll start by selecting the salesperson and the amount. Right now, you can see that it Power BI automatically, for me, Power BI automatically, it took a visual. So automatically it's taking the visual. I don't like this visual. I want the table visual. So I can just click onto this option right here. And I can see that it has changed into that particular table view. So like this, I am able to see the table also, right? Somewhat like this. Can rearrange the size and all. Later on, I can do that, but yeah. Now let's say I want to increase the size a little bit. Okay. So what I can do is I can select that particular table, and in that particular table, I can, go to the values and I can increase the size of the values if I want to, how much bigger values I want, and I can customize it accordingly. In the title, if I want to open up the title, or maybe I can go into row headers and I can increase the headers if I want to, like this. Row headers, column headers, I can increase, I can make them a little bit bolder, and it looks much more nicer. Actually, it is looking a little bit smaller and congested because all these panels are opened up. So if I close all these panels, you can see that it will look nice and it will look a little bit bigger. But that's fine because we are working with the different panels right here, and we know we want those panels. So I'm just using them. Here you can see that in this table looks like this. So what I can do is I can just select that particular table and I can go to layouts and style preset. I can select the style to minimal and it will go like this. If I want, I can select the layout also and it will give me the layout as well. I can go to the values or specific columns and I can just change the text values, alignment, all of that. I can select the sum of amount and I can change the display unit to thousands and now it will show me the values properly like this. I hope so that this is clear, right? Now I want the data labels also, the bar, the color bar that you can see here into my this place. So what I can do is select that particular table right here into my columns. As you can see, values, I can right click onto the sum of amount and I can go on to conditional formatting a little bit and I can click onto this data bars. When I click onto the data bars, this particular uh, wizard opens up where I can select the data bars, and if I click onto OK, it will put these data bars also automatically. So these data bars are actually showing me according to the value how much data bars are filled for that particular set. I hope so that this is absolutely clear. This is how we are actually building it. Okay. And I want to change the color. I can just right click again, go to conditional formatting, and I can select the data bars and I can change the color of whatever color I want. And that color will be taken as whatever you want. Now I can see that in this, our heading also is a little bit there. So what I can do is I can select that particular table and I can go to column headers. I can select the background color to the color which I want. And I got that looking right like that. Well, I hope so that this is absolutely clear to all of you guys, right? I can now change the padding also a little bit so it looks much more nicer. I can select that particular table and I can go to the grid. I can go into the options and I can remove the padding a little bit. It looks much nicer now, actually. Okay. I hope so that this is absolutely clear now. Well, our table is also done. Now let's create this particular sum amount by product. Now you can see that we have already created this in our page one in our previous video. We can just copy it from here. So I can just right click, we can copy it, copy the visual. I can go to page three and I can paste it right here. So the same visual is copy pasted right here. I can resize it according to my size and you can see that it is right here. Now the problem with this is that it is good enough, but it is not what I wanted. I want this sum of amount by product like this. And this is sum of bags shipped by salesperson. I want sum of amount by product. So first of all, I'll change the data here. You can see on the y-axis we have salesperson and on the x-axis we have the sum of bags. So what I need to change is I want to change it according to the products and I want to change it according to the products and the sum of amount. So what I can do is I can select this particular graph and rather than salesperson, I can select the product right here and I can select the sum of amount in the x-axis like this. So you can see that now our chart is created right like this. I hope so that this is clear. Now it is not looking as what I wanted it to look like. So I can just select the color of, I can select it. I can go to the title and I can select the background color to whatever I want. I was using this color, so I'll be using the same color right here. Okay, guys. Now, what about this color right here, guys, which is coming like this? So here you can see that this color is according to the gradient. So you can put the gradient also if you want to, and I can just right click onto this I can just select that particular thing, go to the bars, and you can see that if you want to change the color, you can change the color as what you want. But I don't want that particular color to be used. I want the colors of, the 80 million, 0.80 million. Below 80 million, it should be gray, and above 80 million, it should be red. So what I can do is I can select onto that particular graph, go to the bars, and you can see that behind, just after the color, you have this option called as conditional formatting. If I click onto this conditional formatting, this particular window opens up, guys. In this color icon, in this color window, I can select this rule, and I can select the sum of amount, and here I can select that particular column, and I can set a rule. So I can set the rule if the value is greater than or equals to 0 in number and lesser than what is that value, 8 million, that is on number, then it should be gray. I'll add a new rule, and if it is from that above 80 million number, should be greater than, if I remove the 0, it will automatically become max, then the color should be around this darker red. If I click on to OK, you can see that we'll get that color right here. So this is how you put rules also, and this is how you do conditional formatting, guys. So any value which is greater than 80 million will go above into the red zone, and all the values below 80 will go into the gray zone. How did I do that? Conditional formatting. So just select that graph, just click onto this FX icon right here and set a rule on whichever axis you want to set. I have set the axis on the sum of amount because I want that particular value to be affected. According to that, the color should be decided. I hope so that this is clear, guys. And the rule were set like this, that if the value is greater than 0 and lesser than 80 and the number, it should be number by the way, then it should be that. I hope so that this is clear. Okay, so this is how we so far created our trends chart, our donut chart, our table, and our graph. I hope so that this is all it is clear. Now we'll just be adding some cards, slicer, and our heading, and that will be done. So for that, let me create some space here. And what we will do is I'll just click onto this empty space right here, and I'll click onto this card option, this particular card option. If I click onto it, a new card visual will load up, and in this card, we will just select the total number of amount, the amount, and the bags shipped. So two things are going to be there. But this is old card visual, so it is not showing me that. So what I'll do is I'll load up a new card visual. So with this new card visual, it will allow me to hold multiple values. So I can see that the sum of amount and the total bags shipped are right here into one card. I can just resize this a little bit. I can try to fix it right somewhere here. I need to put this down a little bit more. And I can try to, select it somewhat like that. And right now it is very big, so I can go into call out values. I can turn it down to 30, maybe a little bit lesser. I can see that it is much more better actually, right? So like this we are able to do it. This is the total sum of bags, and like this. Now it doesn't look nice, right? Like this. So I can go to the card and I can switch off the border. I can switch off the background, and I can switch on the accent bar. I can turn this accent bar color to something else like red. So you can see that this accent bar has come right like this. Now for the date visual, I can select a new slicer right here. So this is the new slicer, not the text slicer, just the normal slicer, which is this one. And this new slicer will come right here. What I can do is I can just click onto the date, and it gives me the date slicer like this, as you saw it previously. I'll just increase the values, the size of the values, and it will come like this. I can put it up wherever I want it to be. And here I can just turn off the slicer heading, and you can see that it can be put somewhere around here. I hope so that this is absolutely clear to all of you. And I can, change the values of the date according to my requirement. I can change this a little bit, and I can do something like this. Well, I hope so that this is absolutely clear, right? Last thing, we can just add up our heading like this. So to create a heading, I can just, add a new text box. So right here up in the ribbon, we have this text box icon. If I click onto that, I can just just get the text box, and I can write whatever I want. I can write here coders. Right now it is not coming good. So I'll increase up the size a little bit, around 20 maybe, or a little bit more, 24. I can say here coders arcade coffee sales report. I can change this size of this, can put it right somewhere here. I can select it, I can make it bold, center aligned, color can be changed to something like this red. A little bit, it can be turned down. And if I go to the size and style, I can turn on the padding a little bit more. Can change the padding to maximum, which is 20 right here. And there you go, guys. So like this, we are able to do it, guys. So I hope so that this is absolutely clear. So this is our dashboard that we have created, guys, and it looks somewhat like this. I know a little bit of color changing are there, but it's okay. But we are able to understand. Let's try to check this out if it works or not. So let's say in the slicer visual, this slider would have come, right? Yeah. For some reasons, the slider is not showing. Maybe it's a bug, but yeah. Now we can select a particular option here. For example, I can change it to Vikram Tiwari, and I can see that for Vikram Tiwari, and again in India and Australia and UK, these are the sales numbers, and these are the products that Vikram Tiwari has sold into this particular country and these particular coffees. This is how you create a proper dashboard, guys, into your Power BI. Now, this is a professional dashboard that we have created. So that's all for this video, guys. I hope so that you have understood what I wanted to tell you. This was the professional dashboard in Power BI. And here today, we have learned about different kinds of graphs. I've told you a lot more about how to format things in Power BI, different graphs formatting, and how tables can be used, how slicers can be used. We have used all the previous functionalities which we have used in our previous video, and we have built a proper professional dashboard. Like this, you will be creating professional dashboards, and like that you would do it, guys. I hope so that this is clear. If you have any doubts, please tell us in the comment section below. I'll try to clear your doubts as much as possible. And that's all for this video, guys. Stay tuned for more such content on Power BI. I'm going to cover lot of more new things in Power BI, guys. So stay tuned for that. And that's all. Thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Coders Arcade. And don't forget to press the bell icon also, so that you won't miss any future updates. Thank you guys so much. I'll see you in the next one. This is Ashang David signing off. Bye bye.